Unfiltered.
Here we go.
A Houston football podcast for your Houston Texans.
All right, welcome to another edition of Texans Unfiltered, a Houston football podcast for your Houston Texans. I am Young Ari Gold, and I am here with my friend and co-host, John Wade, the Garnet Texan. All right, make sure you guys go to TexansUnfiltered.com. Check out our awesome hats made by Last Stand Hats. They're a local Austin company. You guys can find our hats on TexansUnfiltered.com under merch. Make sure you guys follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Houston FB Pod. Follow me on Twitter at I am Young Ari Gold. Don't forget to follow Jordan at Texans_thoughts and Dylan at Texans_draft and Patrick at Texans Storm Report on Twitter as well. Make sure you guys follow us and make sure you guys hit like and subscribe on our videos, please. We do these for you guys, so make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube. And John, what is going on? Oh, John's not there. Hi, John. John's back.
Hey, how's it going, man?
John's not
talking
back.
For half a second, Mike.
Ruben Calavillo. I am not on Twitter anymore, Ruben. So you're going to have to text me.
All right, you hear me? Okay.
Yep. I saw you sent me a message, Ruben. That's why I mentioned that. Oh, damn it! I say it every time. Okay, make sure you guys follow Patrick at the Patrick Storm. The Patrick Storm. It's the Storm of Patrick. My bad, Pat. I need to add that in there. I'm actually going to add that right now. At the Patrick Storm. There we go. That'll be fixed moving forward there, little buddy. John, how's your week? How's life? How's things?
You know, staying busy, staying healthy, which is the big thing right now. Everything's going pretty good. It's just quiet without sports. We need sports back. Granted, there's a lot of changes because I think people are getting a chance to get out and kind of think about things, but it would be nice to have sports back.
It would be nice to have sports back. I would agree. All right. And a shout out to our Patreons. Thank you guys. Make sure you guys go to patreon.com/Texans Unfiltered. You guys can support us there. We have 5 different tiers. So make sure that you guys go check that out. Big shout out to one of our biggest supporters and just people that we just love to talk to, and Giovanni. Giovanni, we're sorry to hear about you testing positive for COVID, but we are here to help and support in any way possible. If you need anything from us, let us know. Have you named your price yet, James? What do you mean?
For the bet.
For what bet?
For the bet that got tweeted out last night.
What bet got
about
tweeted?
The Rockets and the Lakers.
Who tweeted that out?
I think Cody did. Somebody actually put it out there on Twitter last night.
What did it say? Can somebody tag me in it? Or not on Twitter? Can somebody put a link in here? I haven't opened Twitter, so I have no idea.
I'm going to have to go find it.
So what did Cody say?
I told you I got to go find it. I didn't pay that much attention because y'all were just yelling at each other. Young Ari Gold just bet the entire Houston FB team that the Lakers will beat the Rockets in a playoff series this year. Prize on the line, a signed Hakeem Olajuwon jersey for every member of the team.
Yep. There it is.
That's pretty ballsy.
It's not ballsy at all. It's the Rockets. Nobody's worried about the Rockets.
You should be.
Why? Just because we don't have Avery Bradley?
Because you're the Lakers and we're the Rockets. You should be a little bit worried about them this year.
Not in the playoffs. Regular season, sure. But, I mean, until you guys do something in the playoffs, I really have no reason to worry about y'all.
Something in the playoffs? What do you mean something in the playoffs?
You know, the thing that ends with that thing on your finger?
When was the last time y'all got a ring?
Oh, a lot more recent than you. Let's see, 2010, 2011, 2001, 2002, 2003. So it's only been 10 years. How about you guys?
Yeah, I mean, 10 years. I mean, for us, it's been 20. But
No.
It's acting like y'all
20?
just won. It's acting like y'all just won it yesterday.
More like 25, John. But yeah.
95. Yeah,
Right.
You're right.
Yeah. So yeah, Giovanni's got it.
No, the Lakers will not dominate the Rockets. There's, you know what, the teams, I think would be a great series. It would be a great series, but they're not going to dominate. Like, just stop. It's not going to be a 4-game sweep. That's asinine. I cannot believe that was even said. It's not going to be a 4-game sweep,
like that.
But it will be a good series.
That was all Cody. Cody kept saying 4-game sweep. I never said any of that stuff. Cody
Y'all just started yelling at each other, so I tuned you out.
Cody was just super annoying last night. Like, and then he like hangs up like a total coward, and then he talks about small dick energy, but then like talks shit and then hangs up. I've never like that's small dick energy to me. Yeah, that was crazy. But Texans thoughts, obviously, he's on to something here. Nobody knows his name yet, and that's fine. But Alex Caruso having more time on the court is a benefit for this team, and people don't realize it. So,
isn't he the one with the receding hairline?
Oh, he has no hair.
He's bringing it back,
and he's 26. He has no hair.
He's bringing it back.
Yeah,
shave it off, dude. I lost on mine at 18. I can talk about this. I have been shaving it since I was 18.
What's good, Cecil? Thanks for joining the stream, brother. Yo, Berkeley Boss, what up? Yeah, make sure you guys go to our Patreon page. Go to patreon.com/Texans Unfiltered. Check out all the Patreon stuff that we have going on. But yeah, all right. So not a lot to get into this week. We were trying to figure out what could we talk about. So we're going to start with JJ is looking thin. John, I'm assuming John put this in here.
I'm going to use that. I'm going to drop the word asinine twice in a podcast, and I don't think I've said it ever before. But that was the other thing that kind of dominated Reddit this week, that JJ Watt apparently looks thin, because he posted a picture of him watching his now wife playing soccer, and the way the angle was, it made him look like, oh, he looks tiny. Like, we are that bored. Like, we really are. So I can't fault anybody for that, but let's be real. It's a weird angle. Like, you really don't see him that well. Dude, I can't say JJ's fine because he hasn't finished a season, but he's not thin. He's going to still play football. He's still a football player.
And he's going to be our 4th tight end. And that's why Jordan Thomas is going to get cut. That's why that's all he's getting ready for. He's just waiting for his number to be called. I haven't noticed any pictures of JJ Watt, but he usually always looks thin in the offseason.
Did we decide we're actually going to do the NFL preview, or are we going to do like the streamer question and answering?
We're going to go through PFF, and teams are better than us out of the top 20 that they say.
Well, I'm gonna share the video or the picture with you so you can take a quick look at it.
Okay. I have the PFF sheet up. If that's what you were, is that what that is? PFF ranked teams, right?
Yeah, that's the one that we're going to use as kind of like the outline.
Teams better than us? Yeah, I don't see that. But, Cam Newton to the Patriots. This is a very interesting one. This makes total sense. I know it shocked the world for some reason. It's funny how I get this every stream. I get it every stream. I like it though. Oh man, that's a great question. How do y'all feel about our secondary? I feel really good about our secondary, to be honest with you. I think Gary and Conley's going to have a strong year. I think that Bradley Roby's going to have a strong year. I think Lonnie Johnson's going to have a strong year. John Reed and Vernon Hargraves. I think that our secondary is in a much better position than local analysts and national guys think, to be honest with you. Pat says Texans players who were tested positive for COVID have been cleared now, so that's good news. Let's see what Travis has to say here. Cute picture of your kid, man. Glad you're out there being a dad, watching him play football. That's awesome. We're always disrespected by the analysts and experts. Nothing new. We will win the division and hopefully more than one playoff game. Watson will be better without Hopkins. Call me crazy. You're not crazy. He will be better. I agree 100%. What's the plan for game days? Stream during the game? That would be cool. Oh, man. I don't know. My game days are kind of sacred. Like, it's kind of like a sacred time for me. It's like 3 hours of enjoyment. I don't know if I'll be able to do a stream during the game, to be honest with you. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we're not even good at live tweeting the game. People gave us crap last year about that.
Or Discord. We're awful in the Discord too.
Yeah, so we just get into it. I mean, you I don't know how else to put it. Like it's tough for us to. Can you see this? Am I showing it correctly?
All I see is Mozilla. Harris Beard, what up, man? Problem with PFF is it's not analyzing context of players like DJ31, poor O-line, air raid didn't mesh with them, Cooks, Rams, rush. Yeah, I agree. Conley acquired in the season. Ryan, I don't know if you've read my article on David Johnson on Texans Unfiltered, but if you go look at it, I point out all of that stuff. I agree with you 100%. They see a narrative, they keep that narrative around the team, and then they continue to push that out. So it's just what they do. I mean, Houston as a city, it's just the way it works. They tend to. Is that JJ?
That's JJ.
Oh my God, that does not look like JJ.
That's his That's his actual Twitter.
That's kind of scary.
You think?
He must have had COVID or something. He lost a lot of weight. That's a bad angle. I want to see a new picture.
I think it's just the angle, and I think it's the off season, and we have nothing to talk about, and that's why everybody's freaking out about it.
His arms look tiny. Yep, Luke's hit it right on the head. That's the new tight end. Nobody else matters now. I mean, because that's what that looked like to me. Good God.
You think?
I mean, that dude, he looks so skinny. He did. He looks super tiny, dude. Do y'all think Bill O'Brien's job is on the line this year if we don't make the playoffs, or just the first round again? I think he has to go further, to be honest with you.
That's
here's
what
what
we're saying, but I wasn't one of our people saying that Bill O'Brien's safe for at least this year and next year.
Yeah, I think so.
He's got to flat out embarrass himself.
James Palmer said that. Here's what I think happens if he has another bad year, or has a bad year or a first round exit. I think he's fired as the head coach, stays as general manager, brings on head coach he wants. We go through 3 or 4 years of him getting into it with the head coach, and either the head coach wins the power struggle or Bill O'Brien wins the power struggle. But that's thing. He has to be. Well, what's going on with the thing? I can't click the things.
What do you mean you can't click the things?
Oh, there we go. Now it's working. Intermittent fasting. That's so funny. Could you imagine if he actually was? Wouldn't that be hilarious? He's like,
maybe we're switching to. He looks, yeah. He is making sure he can't play inside. That's what he's doing. He is like, I'm not playing inside. I'm going to lose all the weight, so you can't make me inside.
That's probably exactly what he's doing. PFF themselves don't even, PFF themselves sounds kind of funny to say together. Like I feel like
it is fun.
It is. Don't even know what the Texans team needs are. Anyways, I agree. They're trash. See, yeah, look, Giovanni, 18 pounds on COVID. I'm telling you, that's the JJ Watt. That's what happened.
COVID, you think?
I don't care what people say. He was skinny in that picture. Definitely looked like an outside linebacker. I would agree. Ryan, check out that article, by the way. Do the Texans have a top 10 O-line? Top 10 O-line. Top 10. Top 10. They could crack the top 10. They could crack the top 10. I think
they're gonna be a top 10 this year. I'll put money on it.
You would put money on it.
Yeah, they're going top 10.
Okay.
I'd put money on it. I'd make that our hat bet. I'll take that. We can do that as a hat bet this year.
No, because I'm kind of confident that they will too, so that one won't work.
I love this trade, by the way.
You love this trade?
I love this trade.
You love Pettis
for Cootie?
Yeah, I mean, Pettis, this is his third year, right? They're in the same situation, aren't they?
Pettis is he's a better kick returner, but Deebo Samuel is like the GOAT kick returner, so he doesn't have a position in San Francisco anymore. Like, he's just been outplayed. Kiki has a lot of talent, but he's apparently on BOB's bad side. But you get him back over there with Wes Welker, and I think that just makes too much sense, because I still want Kiki to do well. Pettis comes in, and he's probably our best kick returner. He's better than DeAndre Carter as a receiver. So there you go. It works for both teams.
I found our next shirt. I PFF'd myself once. I love it. This is great. Travis, this is fantastic. This is a really, really good one. Does Bieniemy not have a head coaching job? It's because
That's a
he's
great question.
That's why, because he's a black man. It's pretty simple. That solve that case. Call me Sherlock Holmes. I think that trade will be better for us. I agree. I like Pettis. I do like Pettis. I think Pettis. The only problem if he battles it out with Simmons, cool, or him, Simmons, and QT, that'd be nice. I'd like to have see what we have there. I really want to see Simmons though. So if it's going to eat at Simmons, then I would prefer to not make that trade.
Simmons is more of a project. I think he has a higher ceiling, but Pettis can actually play receiver. But he would instantly be our best. He would be our best returner the moment that he stepped on the field. Simmons probably still has the higher ceilings, but Simmons is so raw as a receiver. Like that's his downside. Like he's exciting. Like if he's essentially a running back, then you can manufacture touches for him, and you should. But he is very raw as a route runner.
DeAndre Carter was very raw when he came, or his first year here too. He was super raw. Still rounds out his slants. Like he's not a great route runner, so I wouldn't mind Simmons taking that spot. I think that trade will be better for us. This is a good one. Which unit do you think is the weakest? Safety. And it's not even that it's the weakest. It's just that we don't know.
I would say, honestly, edge. I think there's a lot of guys there that have talent, but
that's crazy.
Regardless of being a 3-4 or 4-3, we don't have guys that have proven they can rush the passer yet.
Jordan's about to hop in here. He's about to hop in. You basically and he says all about how Titus looks from his injury will take some time, but the second half of the season, yeah, I agree. It's going to take him some time to get it going, but once he does, I definitely think his offensive line will do that. Could Cobb take over punt returns? He can. He's done it in the past. I don't know if you want your $9 million slot receiver doing that, but he definitely could. Plus, we could bring Pettis to Houston to reunite with his father, who's the Astros' third base coach. Who are the Astros? Who are the Astros? Is that the XFL, right? They were the XFL team. I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. By the way, have you guys seen these new shirts? They're pretty cool. I think you guys would actually like them. I am going to share my screen and show you these new Houston Astros shirts that are being released by Undefeated. Let's see if I can find it for you guys. You guys will actually enjoy it. Let's see. Oh God, I have to log in. Let's see here.
Travis, we've all loved Jacob Martin. Love Jacob Martin. We think that he could break out, and he does have one of the highest success rates on getting to the quarterback. So he should be able to break out, but he hasn't done it yet. That's kind of the problem.
So look at this. Have you guys seen this?
Are you trying to drive away our entire audience?
No, I'm asking. Like, I'm an Undefeated fan. I like their clothing line. They're an LA-based company. Obviously, I'm from LA. Obviously, I'm an Astros fan. Everybody that knows that why I wear this hat, it's just because that's where I'm from. I root for the Astros. I'm not a Dodgers fan. I just like the logo. But I did think that this shirt was a pretty cool shirt. I know it says Houston Cheaters and they're an LA company, but I just think it's a cool shirt. I would actually, even as an Astros fan, I would still wear it. I think it's a cool shirt. If you look at like the characters and like the faces and the details on it, I thought it was actually pretty good. Coming to Houston 2021 EB, maybe Jules, maybe. If so, he'll have to deal with Bill O'Brien, the general manager. But we'll have to see. We will have to see. Do you think O'Brien can be John Harbaugh? Like, let his coordinators call? I do think that he can. I think that's where he's going. I just don't know if he has the patience John Harbaugh had. I think that's the biggest problem with Bill O'Brien. What do you think, John?
I think that's what he's trying to set himself up to do, but he may have a fatal flaw of where he can't help himself. I think he knows Bill O'Brien's smart. We all know he's smart, but it's going to just be one of those things. He's one of those guys that just can't help himself. He knows that the best thing to do is to let his coaches coach, but he can't help himself, and he's going to put himself in that situation when things start to get tough, because he's also obviously a control freak. I mean, and I don't necessarily mean this in a bad way, but to kind of push for the GM position the way that he has and gone about it the way that he has, He wants things done his way. And as soon as the coaches start doing things that are not his way, his better nature, the little angel on his shoulder, is going to tell him, no BOB, no BOB, bad OB. And that little devil on his other shoulder is going to be like, Obi, don't let them do that. And guess which one he's going to listen to? The masshole. That's what the one he's going to listen to.
Pat Stack called it. Chris Jones starting to sit out 2021 if he does not get paid. I don't know if Pat called that. I mean, we see this every year with franchise players. Not really much of a call. But, I mean, this happens. He's going to sit out, and they're going to either pay him or he's going to get traded. Might be a very similar situation to Clowney. Might be able to get Chris Jones for pennies on the dollar come after the July 15th deadline. So that'll be interesting to see. Jules says that our weakest is linebackers. I know why Jules says this, and he only says this because he hates that we do not have a coverage linebacker. He has been screaming for a coverage linebacker for the last 3 years. He wants one extremely bad. I totally understand why. But I actually think let's see what Zach does this year. I think Zach's going to take a step forward.
There's also a great thread that of Weston and Jordan. So Texans Thought and Matt Weston over from Battle Red Blog. They got into the kind of the nitty gritty about how good both McKinney and Zach Cunningham are actually in zone coverage. They're much better zone players than man players, and it's kind of one of those things that's very vastly underrated. And I don't think that either one of them are wrong. However, you can beat zone with those running back passes, which always happen to us. So we need someone like Dylan Cole to step in and be able to take care of this.
Yeah, I think though the one thing that I agree that we don't have a linebacker that can play man. There's really like only one linebacker in the league that can play man at a high level and corner at a high level, and that's Deion. Oh God, what's his name from Atlanta? I'm drawing a total blank.
Deion Jones.
Deion Jones. Outside of that, there's really not another linebacker in the league.
Who's the guy at the Jaguars? He's really good as well. Schobert.
Joe Schobert from the Browns.
Joe Schobert. He went to the Jaguars. He was a free agent.
But he was from the Browns, right?
He was on the Browns.
He was nowhere near the level of like Deion Jones and man.
No, he's not the level of Deion Jones, but he's another linebacker that was very capable of it.
Yeah, capable for sure. Up here we go. Insert Jacob Martin emoji. He heard your comments, John. Now he's
always
coming for you. Linebackers. Yep. I don't know. I actually like our linebackers. Maybe it's just me. You could scheme other ways around it. Like last year when we played the Patriots, you know who was covering James White? Bradley Roby. Like you can do things schematically to match up. You don't have to put a linebacker on those guys.
Well, here's the problem. Our linebackers would be fine if we had that hybrid safety linebacker, like Barron from a couple of years ago. What Tyrann Mathieu, what he can do. Those are the type of guys. We're missing a piece that can allow the other guys to kind of complement each other a little bit better. Now, we have a guy that can do those things. It's just he hasn't been able to stay healthy, and that's kind of what's also scary because when you have one guy that you're kind of relying on to be that keystone, it kind of messes it up because when he's out, that becomes the weakness in our defense that every team out there can attack. And every team out there, granted, it's still not easy to do, even though you can, but you've seen several teams go out there and absolutely, like the Chiefs, just go out there and that's the weakness. And they took advantage of it.
Cecil, I feel like Cecil knows me really well. Do y'all think Aiken is going to get more playing time? Absolutely.
Is this your first show?
Tight end 1, hands down. Hands down. Tight end 1. Except in the red zone. All right. Here, Spirit to me, that's a strength. Martin could break out, though. Merciless, too. Yeah, could break out. I think Martin has it in him. The interview that Jordan did was very telling of just who he is as a person and kind of his approach to the game. Very smart guy, very smart football IQ. But at the same time, you can't bet on breakouts. You have to have a plan in place. You can hope for it and put them in a position to win, but at the end of the day, you have to have a backup plan in case that doesn't work out. 2017 champs over the Dodgers. Yep, you're 100% correct, Jules. John Reed can return punts as well. Yeah, that's something we talked about originally after our draft pod was that John Reed can do that. It'll be interesting to see. Luke told me to watch myself. I'm assuming it's because I called out Pat Stat. I don't know. I don't think Pat's that amazing. I'm actually ecstatic about the edge group this year. See, that's kind of how I feel. Upside, right? A lot of upside. Guys that showed potential so far. I'm not ecstatic. I don't know if ecstatic would be the word, but I'm optimistic. I'm definitely optimistic about what this can look like.
Yeah, and I'm optimistic as well. I mean, you've heard the podcast. You're there on the other side of the screen with me every week. I'm just saying, currently as constructed, from what we know, they don't have the one guy. The reason that I'd put the safeties in a better spot is because, Reed is amazing. I mean, Justin Reed he's going to be. We're set there. Like, there's nothing to worry about there. Merciless, he kind of scared me last year when we needed him to be our number one pass rusher. He couldn't do it. And Zach Martin, all the talent in the world, but he still has to earn whatever trust is there from the coaching staff, so he's out on the field more, because I think he can put up numbers if he's out there. And then, I mean, honestly, like, Brendan Scarlett was our starter all year last year, and then the other guys behind him, Grenard. I mean, a lot of people are very, very high on him, but I don't know. Blacklock had better athletic numbers, and he's a defensive tackle. So there's hesitations. These guys all have talent. Don't get me wrong, but that's why I'm a little bit concerned about them. Whereas Justin Reed, I mean, he's got all pro potential. So safeties are, even no matter who is the other guy on the other side of him, safeties are in a good spot because you have Justin Reed. You have that guy at that level.
I think Jules is coming after you for saying Whitney could break out after 9 seasons. Did you say Whitney could break out?
I didn't say Whitney could break out of that. I said I was concerned about Whitney not taking over as our number one pass rusher last year when we needed him.
Yeah. He's not capable of doing that. Pat is not.
And Grenard, I understand why people are high on Grenard. I do, but we're basing his ability to be a great coverage linebacker, a great Sam linebacker, based on the Senior Bowl. Whereas during the actual season, that's not how he was played down in Florida. At Florida, they let him essentially play as a true edge to rush and create havoc, and he did very well at that. I'm always concerned about guys that have below average athleticism and for their position, because Grenard can absolutely roll. He's a great athlete. I'm not trying to downplay that, but Blacklock and him have very, very similar numbers, and Blacklock has about 30 pounds on him. That's why I'm concerned.
Yeah. I would love to trade Whitney for Jamal Adams, obviously, plus some picks. Yeah, according to some news the other day, Bill O'Brien would like to trade Whitney Merciless too to get rid of him because he fired Chris Olsen specifically because of the Whitney Merciless contract. So there's a little tidbit for you. That's why Chris Olsen was fired, was because of the Whitney Merciless contract. Yeah, John Reed. Yeah, we mentioned that. I definitely think that we have options at returns. Chris says Merciless couldn't even win one-on-ones last year. No, he could not. Well, he could when JJ was on the field, but I mean,
Merciless had to be schemed.
Lined up against tight ends.
He had to be schemed to create pressure last year, and he needed JJ and Reader playing at a level that they just didn't continue to play for the entire season. Now Reader's gone, and we'll see.
Yeah, and based on the view of the Reader interview, you guys don't care about him anymore.
He's like the X-Man. Why are people going to pull that Band-Aid off again?
Oh, I know. Grenard was testing the car. He was testing him during the Senior Bowl. Never wanted to be biased. I was very negative on a lot of our last year's draft picks, but man, I just feel like Blacklock is going to be an absolute stud. I agree. I think Blacklock is going to be an absolute stud. I think he's going to make an impact pretty early. Oh, our linebacker police, Jules Jefferson, not happy with Grenard.
I'm with you, Jules. There's much smarter guys than me when it comes to football. They're absolutely in love with Grenard. Like, I understand where they're coming from, but again, I'm with you. I'm not sold on him. He's the guy I'm a little bit hesitant about. I think Blacklock has the potential to be a star, but he's the guy that would be more. Ryan, I'd actually flip it. I think Grenard, because he's supposed to be so technically sound, and he's not as much of an athlete, is going to be able to come in, and he should be able to contribute because supposedly he's technically sound. If you're technically sound, you can come in. Whereas Blacklock is more of the athlete, where they need to learn a little bit more technique. And Blacklock may be learning a new position. I don't think he's actually going to play defensive tackle. I think he's going to be more of a defensive end.
Yeah, I think the only reason I think Grenard, I don't think we need to be patient with Grenard is because just based on the interview that that Jordan did with him, his technique is and his football IQ is just off the charts. I mean, the guy, he really understands and knows exactly what to do. He really breaks it down on another level. And you're talking about a rookie, guy coming out of college who really understood the techniques and when to use a move, when not to use a move. I mean, I actually feel more confident in Grenard, not because I think Blacklock's a bust, but I just think it's going to take time to get used to the strength of interior and exterior offensive linemen in the NFL.
Well, I will say this, and it's a very common argument, but even to what Jordan was saying, Texans Thoughts was saying, technique is better than athleticism, but you can't teach athleticism, you can teach technique.
It's true. It's true. Jordan's a young kid. He knows. But
Jordan's smart. He's when I say he's one of the smart guys that are smarter about football, that are high on Grenard, that are make me waver on it, it's him. Jordan's one of the loudest voices. He's the one that single-handedly made me go from being completely down on the draft of Grenard to very optimistic. And it took one article and just listening to hear him talk. But my concerns about Grenard still stand.
Well, let me tell you this. And tell me if I do a good impression. But the film don't lie. So, we could have used that merciless money to pay. I don't care. Get Dante Fowler out of here. I'm good. I'd rather have Whitney over Dante Fowler, to be honest with you. The Blacklock Omenihu duo will be sick. Omenihu will have a breakout year. I actually agree with this 100%. I think Omenihu will have a breakout year. I'm not talking like double-digit sacks, but productive player, maybe 8.5 sacks, but he's going to be very, very good. Those long arms are going to come in handy. Let's see what else we got here. I see Whitney when I see Grenard. Oh, God, Jules. Good.
That's fair.
Wow.
That's fair.
That's fair. I mean,
if Grenard turns into Whitney, like we're ecstatic with that. That's not a bad thing.
It's not.
Whitney he's an above average player. He's solid. He's just not the guy that you need. He's unfortunately not been able to be the guy with your pass rush. If he's the guy for your pass rush, then you're in trouble. But he's a great complementary player, an above average complementary player. So if Grenard turns into Whitney, that's a win.
Especially in the third round. I mean, that's a good. Whitney was the first round pick. Just ordered a Grenard jersey. He better turn out good. If he doesn't, John says that he will refund you back your money. I'm about to take off my shirt and smoke you, Jules. All right, Giovanni's going hard in the paint. Yep, I see Blacklock being a defensive end, defensive tackle. Watt's going to be the one to guide him. Yeah, maybe. Watt seems to like guys that'll work. He has a Kobe approach to him when it comes to players. He will gravitate towards players that will put in the work, and he will help. And if you're a player that does not, you're not going to like JJ Watt. It's just the way it is. Very Kobe-esque. Grenard will have a better rookie year, but Blacklock will be a better long-term, in my opinion. I think that's fair. I think that's a safe one. Blacklock will be fine stuffing the run, but pass rush will take some time. Agreed. Jordan and I have been saying this for a long time. He has a lot to learn on the pass rush aspect of things. Yeah, we just need Jacob Martin and Grenard to morph skill sets.
That would be cool.
Hey, he's right though. I mean, and Jordan, I actually have shirts being made specifically for you. That the film don't lie, and I agree with you. Charles and Duke. Jules, are you saying that you think Charles and Duke Etchefor are going to have breakout seasons? I'm going to need to see something like that. Yeah, like I said, I mean, Whitney Merciless in the third round. Yeah, all 32 teams would take that. Grenard is a high floor, low ceiling guy. I would agree. I mean, he's smart. He's just so smart. I just don't know how low his floor could be. How do we feel about our late picks in the draft? The wide receiver from Rhode Island, Isaiah Coulter, and the 6'7" tackle Charlie Heck from North Carolina that ran 5-something-40. Well, Isaiah Coulter, I'm pretty high on. I don't expect an impact this year. I think this will be kind of like a redshirt year for him. He's kind of buried on the depth chart. I don't see him getting a ton of snaps. This will be more of a mental thing for him this year. But he has the talent to be extremely good. A very, very smart wide receiver. Uses his hands to catch the ball. Pretty good route runner. I expect Coulter to be pretty good for us long term. North Carolina, Charlie Heck, swing tackle, worst case scenario.
Yeah, Isaiah Coulter looks like he's going to be something else. If you just go back and watch his tape, he looks like an NFL receiver. Now, he does need some work. His route tree is pretty simple, but he absolutely looks like an NFL receiver. Oh, Charlie Heck. Charlie Heck. He's our mole because his dad's on the Chiefs staff. That's why he was drafted.
Yeah, I agree. What techniques are we talking about? Because every scout breakdown I saw, the main knock was on Blacklock's injury. On top of that, every scout was raving about his pad level usage. Just a clarification question, not disagreeing. It's just more of understanding what pass rush moves to use and when, leveraging his hands a little bit more, being a little bit more aggressive with his hands consistently is really the issue with Blacklock that Jordan mentioned, and something I saw on film too. It wasn't consistent on the pass rushing side. Run stuffing, he was a monster. But from a pass rushing perspective, there just wasn't a lot of consistency when it came to his pass rush.
Yeah, his pad level, especially for being a run stopper, he played like a defensive tackle. He's not. He may, because he's still a kid. He's still young. I think he's like 22. He may still morph into a defensive tackle in the NFL. At that point, his technique's fine. But if he's going to play defensive end, he needs to work on his pass rush moves, specifically hand usage. But yeah, great hand. Great pad level. Like, he's going to be able to come in right away, and our run defense will not suffer at all when he's on the field. It's just, will he develop the moves to actually be a pass rusher as well?
Yeah. Duke doesn't make 53. Pat's coming. He's pulling up from behind the arc and letting everybody know that he's been told Duke doesn't make the 53. That's a storm report there. Not really. He's just shooting the shit. Texans D needs Charles and Duke to stay healthy. I agree. I am not trying to jinx anything, but if JJ gets injured again, which he will. Oh wait, you didn't put that part. Is the pass rush completely screwed? You know what's funny about this, John? I've been thinking more and more about it, and the more I look at Anthony Weaver's style of defenses, I'm not going to say that an injury to JJ is a gift. I'll say it's a gift and a curse. But it does force other guys to step up. And from a schematics aspect, I do think that Weaver can get more guys involved and manufacture a pass rush without JJ on the field better without JJ on the field than what he can do with JJ on the field, because JJ is only going to line up on the outside. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I understand where you're coming from, and that's also the faith that Weaver's going to be more exotic with his blitz packages and way more aggressive. I think it all kind of depends on whether or not those edge players that we talk very highly about take a step up, because they're all very young. As of right now, when you're going off pass production and, a lot of projections for these guys, yeah, without JJ, we're screwed. Now, us, and, guided by some of the great writers on our staff, and just, we believe otherwise. We believe that there's enough talent from the outside linebackers. We believe that there's enough talent from guys like Charles Omenihu that DJ Dunn is going to be able to step in and play nose and take up some of those blockers, that the pass rush should be better than last year, even if JJ got hurt. Now, if JJ doesn't get hurt, if he stays healthy for the entire season, then it's a completely different ceiling, but I don't think we'll drop off as badly as we did last year.
Fair. Does Pat have any news regarding free agents we like? Like snacks or No, he has no news on any of that right now.
Well, seeing as how we've gone completely off the outline, you want Pat to jump in?
He's probably just hanging out with his kid in his bedroom, so
I gotcha.
not going to force a guy to. Why do my kids keep turning off the office lights? It's so annoying.
They're just trying to mess with you. What's next? A needed win. I think it's in regards to this. What do we think about Waring?
A wasted pick. Wasted pick. We're going to come back and look at that and see that it was a wasted pick. Yep, they didn't need to. Yep, I agree. 713 Sportscast. What up? Enjoyed the podcast, fellas. Thanks, Travis. We like that. Make sure you like it and rate it on your favorite podcast platform.
Please don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah, Kahale is going to get Thomas cut. Yes, make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button down below. Kahale is going to get Thomas cut. Yeah, maybe. Or maybe the other way around. Or maybe Thomas gets Kahale traded. I don't know. I honestly don't care. It's Aiken's show, so it doesn't really matter. Nobody cares about your opinion, Pat. I know I might be in the minority, but I see our D taking a step forward this year. I don't think you're in the minority, actually. I think more people are kind of excited about Anthony Weaver and what he could potentially bring. I don't know if anybody feels confident in saying that, so I'll say that. But I definitely think our D has the potential to take a step forward.
I'm going to say we're going to have a roller coaster ride this year with our defense. I think that there's going to be games that we're going to come away super excited that Anthony Weaver, he knows what he's doing. However, I do expect there to be some growing pains with a rookie defensive coordinator. There always is. There's not been a rookie defensive coordinator in the past 30 years that has finished in the top half of the league in total defense. Hopefully Weaver breaks that trend. But yeah, odds are not in his favor. But I think we'll see a lot of games where there's a lot of great stuff and it's exciting. And towards the end of the season, they'll start to click when they get used to his philosophy. Especially this year, because we know that the coronavirus chaos is going to definitely mess with parts of the team that require a lot of communication, and that's the defense and the offensive line.
Yeah, here's what I think. I think our defense starts off really slow, which is going to put fans in a panic state because of who we play the first 4 weeks. I think come week 8, week 9. This defense is rolling. I don't think they're going to be a top 10 defense, but I think schematics and everything else will start to click. Everybody will have a better understanding of their role. And I think from week 8 to week 9, we will see a much better Texans defense than we've seen in the last, I guess, 2 years.
Complete agreement.
With me or with this
guy? With you. And then with D Monty Magic, I just wanted to bring this up because I love it. They should cut Carter and keep 4 tight ends because Akins, he was a returner in college.
He's also a wide receiver in college.
Yep.
I said it last year on the pod that I wouldn't be surprised if we kept all of them because Akins could play that wide receiver role in a pinch. So I wouldn't be surprised. Let's see. Yes, if Martin does get more snaps, let's see what he have to say. If Weaver follows Rex Ryan more than Rack, blitz is going to be on point. Yep, that's a big point of exactly what I meant from manufacturing a pass rush if JJ does go down, if he is following in Rex Ryan's footsteps. So is Dre and Cushing's role staying the same, or is it going to expand in time?
I think Cushing's role did expand this year. Cushing's role did.
Okay. I think Dre's role within the organization will continue to expand. I think they've carved out spots for Andre in the organization. I think he's going to have every opportunity to do what he wants to do with his career in the NFL. So, yeah, we have more availability for pass rushing this season, in my opinion. I would agree. Ravens ranked 27th in pass rush, but they were top 5 in pressure rate, and they blitzed 52% of the time. I would expect this to be a very similar trend to what we will see with this defense. Yes, I do believe that. Maybe not as much, but I definitely think that there'll be I think a lot of people will be shocked at how many blitzes we send next year compared to how much we've sent during the rack era.
it's going to take a little bit of getting used to. And I forewarn you about the roller coaster because sometimes blitzes get beat. But yeah, we should see a lot more blitzes next year.
Does AB and Texans make any sense? It does if Kenny Stills is traded.
Can't trade Kenny.
Can't trade Kenny. By the way, anybody see his tattoos that he got today?
Yeah, I put it in the outline.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
You put the actual picture or
No, just for us to talk about.
a link? Oh, well, let me pull it up. Let me pull it up. I got it right here. Because they were really, really good. Bang. No matter what your racial, whatever your opinions are, if you don't think Black Lives Matter, you're wrong. But this is a really, really cool, really, really cool tattoo. I mean, it's very defined. From an artwork perspective, this is about as good as it can get. The details in the tattoo for anybody that has had tattoos. I mean, this is just a insane. This is a killer tattoo. Killer tattoo. Shout out to Kenny Stills.
I liked how a couple of the responses were, I wish I had more skin.
Omenhi was impressive last year for a late round pick. Agreed. Don't see us cutting a third round pick over a 6. You just see this is what's the problem with most coaches right here. This is and fans. You cannot put a price tag on production. So if Jordan Thomas came in and outproduces him in training camp, and it shows to have a higher ceiling than what Kahali has had so far, you do what you have to do. You're going with the production. You're not going. Good coaches and good talent evaluators do not place a draft pick value on the individuals. If anything, Kahali won't be cut. He'll be traded. Film guy, the film guy. Almost feel like that's what he should be, the film guy on Twitter. I don't think there's anybody that grinds film more than Jordan. I would say 52%, but I wouldn't say 52%, but it should increase a good amount. Rack has always played passive. Agreed. Adkins and Fells should be stars for tight end spots. I agree, Jules. We need an Aikens shirt. I think I need one at least. I think Texans deal will be mediocre. They should just cut Carter and keep 4 tight ends. I already went over that. Just trying to make sure I hit all the comments. Wow, is there really that much more I've gone through? You guys are very active tonight. I like it. Kevin, what up? I hope Duke H4 comes back on a mission. Me too. Do you think Merciless gets traded? No. Starting Eric Murray bothers me. I don't think he should, Jules. I just don't think he should. I really don't.
Really?
I think we're putting a lot of thought into it. Yeah. So I've just
if we get the Eric Murray from 2 years ago that was on the Chiefs, I'm okay with it. Last year with the Browns, I mean, granted it's Cleveland and they don't know their ass from their elbow, but still, just going off last year, I'd be concerned.
Well, they played him in a lot of he played in a lot of coverage last year for the Browns. He thrived when he played with the Chiefs, and he would sit in his zone or he would play in the box. He's a sure tackler. I think if he takes the Justin Reed spot from last year and is playing in the box more, and Justin's freed up to play that single high safety, I think he might surprise some people. Jordan Thomas was a wide receiver in college too. Yes, he was, but now he's a little too big. What's up, 713 Sportscast? Huge fan. There you go. Shout out to 713 Houston Sportscast. Have you all broke down some film? I have not, and it's only because there's limited snaps. I'm not sure if Jordan's working on a piece. I'm sure he is because that's what he does. But it's very hard to find a ton of Eric Murray snaps. Hell no to AB. Jules Jefferson says, Ryan, did we ever hire a special team coach or promote someone I probably overlooked at this offseason? We have not. What's the name? I am totally forgetting. The one that's going to be promoted to take Brad Seeley's spot. I don't know. John will look it up right now. Tats are sick. Kennedy's a killer. Sting like AB, baby. Okay, all right. Yeah, the ink work was nasty. Nasty. He is underrated. I agree. Pretty sure Pastor. I read that like Al Pastor, like those my favorite tacos, Al Pastor, but it's Pastor Jack Easterby would be hesitant to add AB, don't y'all think? If it's Pastor Jack Easterby, isn't it in his nature to forgive? Oh, think about that part, right? From a religion aspect, forgiveness is a part of the Christian faith.
It was
instead.
Tracy Smith, but I don't think they've made it official. But he
No,
was with Silly for 11 years, so it only makes sense.
Texans Thoughts needs an episode on how many times Kenny Stills was open. Like, dude was open like 50% of the time. Watson was looking there. Yep. Nope. I agree. I actually think he did something on Kenny Stills. I have not seen this. Fuller's American Flag.
American Flag Tag?
Yeah, I haven't
You
seen
haven't
that.
seen it? He's had it since college. It is it's a really good flag.
Huh. Any player in particular you would like the Texans to pursue or trade for? Yeah, Jamal Adams, sure. Samuel Kenny video coming in a couple weeks. Got through all his film, and man, there isn't anything he can't do. Agreed. We've been saying that. We've been beating that drum for a long time. Jules with his, his middle linebacker, just throwing it out there so we can see it again. Who are we trading for? Jamal Adams, possibly for Jamal Adams. Answer my question, please. Aiden, if we are trading for Jamal Adams, it is going to be mostly picks, and I would assume some kind of salary dump off. I don't see BMAC because they're very deep at linebacker. So I'm assuming a high first-round pick or our first-round pick in 2022 and something else. But that's really the only way I see it working. But like I've said millions of times, it's not that I don't think it's possible. It's just the fact that I think other teams can offer more that give the Jets more instant gratification. While if you look at our first-round pick in 2022, you're looking at it anywhere from the 20 to 25 range. There's going to be a team out there that will pick in the top 20 and will also be a year earlier in the draft in 2021. So that's my biggest thing. Eric Murray is Aaron
Aiden,
Colvin.
I love your avatar first and foremost, and there's no pick that really makes sense that we can offer the Jets other than our third round this year and a first round the following year. And the reason we would have to do the third and the first is because we don't have a first round this year. And then if you look at it from just roster strength, we don't have anything that really lines up with what they need. So yeah, Jamal's going to end up someplace like Seattle, someplace that just makes us all sick to our stomach. But yeah, it's not happening as much as we'd like for it to.
Sorry, hold on. Texting my realtor.
Eric Murphy is Aaron Colvin 2.0. I
Two
mean,
different positions.
I can kind of see where you're coming from on that. I'm assuming because we gave both contracts that were a little bit of overpays, expected them to play the middle of the field, and I don't know. I think Eric Murray's a little bit more aggressive than Aaron Colvin. Colvin, like we were very excited about Colvin coming over from the Jaguars. He just didn't mesh. It just didn't work out. He got hurt and just wasn't the same guy.
Before he got hurt, though, he was much better than what we saw last year.
Yeah, he was solid his first season before, like the 3 games before he got hurt, but he got hurt and he hasn't done anything for the Redskins either. So
I disagree here. I guarantee you, Jordan, at some point we'll have an Eric Murray piece. He's going to run out of film at some point, and he's going to have to resort back to it. So be on the lookout for Jordan Texans Thoughts Eric Murray film session because it will be coming. It will be. All right, man, you guys are super live in the comments tonight. I like it. Justin Reed will be the best combination in the NFL. Yeah, I definitely do. It doesn't matter where you're picked. It matters how you – God, thank you. Ryan, yes. That is 100% correct. If
you're a good coach.
This is where coaches, FYI, this is where coaches lose their job. This right here is exactly where coaches lose their job.
We've seen many draft picks stay on teams because of –
Go ahead.
we have seen many draft picks beat out players that go on to outproduce them just because they had draft capital. And especially this is probably more of general managers trying to protect their job. I mean, they supposedly make their reputation with the draft, and if they give up on a draft pick too early, they're going to hate themselves and look bad. Whereas if they give up on an undrafted free agent, then they do. But if you look at teams that do very well, i.e. the Patriots, it doesn't matter where you're drafted. You can get cut.
Hopefully Bob can surprise us with Jamal Adams trade like how he surprised us with the Hop trade.
I'd like not to have another surprise like that.
I'm assuming if OB was GM in 2019 offseason, he would have matched Tyron's contract offer and then some. I agree 100%. Yeah, Ryan can be upgraded, but not based off of what we've seen from Kahali or Jordan Thomas. I'm subscribing to y'all right away. Thank you so much, Aiden, for the.
Thank you much, man.
I appreciate it. Oh, okay. Situation will turn out different. Yeah, no, I kind of agree with you that there's a chance of that. The reason why I pointed out that the positions are completely different is just the fact that you're playing quarterback in the NFL is just so tough. While lining up and playing in the box, we've seen lots of players be able to do it over the years and be average players, but be good in those schemes. I guess that's why I said that and wasn't to bother you, JW Football. You're my buddy. So I didn't mean it that way. Please don't take offense to it. Martinez Rankin is the perfect example. Drafted 3rd round in 2018, but way below exactly. And now a starting guard for the Kansas City Chiefs. So,
granted, I think that's Bill O'Brien kind of showing his philosophy behind that. Draft capital doesn't mean much to him, or it could have just been because of the guy that drafted him wasn't him.
Well, I mean, not only that, I mean, we've seen how he feels about draft capital over the last 2 years, or over the last season, really. Tunsil, Conley, Duke. I mean, he wants players that are going to produce. Jules, I don't believe you. So there's that.
I don't blame you. I don't believe you.
Okay. So I know you'll be here next week, and I know that we'll be interacting at some point, some way. We'll have to find another way to interact with them now that I'm not on Twitter, but we will have to do it. Jamal for Kenny first and a third. I just don't like. Here's why I don't like Kenny's trade. I don't want to trade Kenny Stills, and this is the only reason. And it shouldn't be hard for people to understand. Will Fuller gets hurt. You have Brandon Cooks, Randall Cobb, DeAndre Carter, Kiki Cutie, and Isaiah Coulter. The whole point of the Brandon Cooks trade was so that if Will Fuller or when Will Fuller goes down, you're able to still run that same offense and the offense not take a step back. You trade Kenny and Will gets hurt. The offense goes right back to what it was last year when Will Fuller got hurt. You cannot trade Kenny Stills unless you're going to sign AB. And I'm not saying I want to sign AB. I'm just saying that unless you're going to take a chance on AB, that's the only way. I'd rather take a chance on AB than Josh Gordon. Do you really think they will take that Harris Beard? Do you really? I don't know what he's talking about. Harris Beard. Oh, now I see. We need to bring in Griffin or Snacks. Griffin would be good. We're good. You see my JJ question on Twitter. Y'all may have talked about it already. I have not. JW Football. I'm not on Twitter right now. Just kind of taking a break. But if you could put it in the chats, I'd love to. I would love
James,
to.
I can read it real quick if you want me to.
Yeah, please. I don't know. Do I have any questions on Twitter? I haven't logged in.
Throwing out y'all's feelings on Watt, do you think we haven't done enough to address the D-line PR position? That if Watt pass rush position. That if Watt were to leave the team, could we get at least a consistent pass rush from the current guys on the roster now? Or how would y'all feel in general if that were the case? So we did kind of talk about that earlier about JJ, and we think we can manufacture more of a pass rush this year than in previous years. We do expect Weaver to call more blitzes. We think that JJ does raise our ceiling, but it won't be as much of a drop off if and when he's to get hurt again.
I think that this is what I think when it comes to JJ, because he is going to only play outside. He doesn't free up a lot of versatility within the scheme. I think it'll take some time to adjust, but I think from a schematic outlook, I think that you can manufacture a pass rush better without JJ Watt on the field ultimately. But you're guaranteed at least 10 sacks with JJ Watt on the field healthy for a full season. So it's kind of like a gift and a curse. It's going to take time to manufacture a pass rush and understand, what the other players are going to be able to do within the scheme. But I think after a couple, 8 weeks or so, you'll be able to feel a lot better about the pass rush, if that answers your question. Sorry. How would shipping Merciless off sit with the locker room? First Hop, then Merck, two beloved leaders in the locker room. Seems like that would create dissension, wouldn't it? I don't think so. I don't think players really look at it like that. Just talking to a couple other players about the Hop stuff, I think that that frees up money for other players to get paid. Is probably the way they look at it. And a lot of players weren't shocked by Hop being traded. So I know DJ wasn't. So let's see. Oh, I'm not on Twitter. Nope. JJ Watt is a skinny. Put him at wide receiver. Yeah, we could. Let's see. Do you see us extending Kenny and Will Fuller, and at what price? I only see us extending one. I don't see us extending two unless we cut Brandon Cooks. But what I think happens with Brandon is we'll restructure his contract. We will extend Will Fuller if he has a fully healthy season. Last question of the night before we hop off. Conley and Roby duo would be really nice this year. Best duo on our team. I'm excited for a mini human Blacklock duo as well. I'm hoping Eric Murray becomes a badass working with Reed. This will be the key to our success. The safety duo, in my opinion. The pass rush will be better than we think. Let's see. Why are people calling for AB? Do you trust him? What did Oakland do wrong for AB to pull those stunts and beg to get out? I think this is. I think that AB has some mental issues that he is dealing with or has dealt with. And I don't think that you don't close the book because of what he did in Oakland. And we've seen guys in the league that have the talent that AB has and get chance after chance after chance. Somebody will give him a chance. And honestly, you got to look at the risk versus the reward. I mean, the risk is so minimal on giving Antonio Brown a chance, but the reward is so sky high if he is able to put it together. I'm not advocating to sign him, to be clear. I'm just saying that there's an option out there if Kenny Stills is traded.
Here's the thing about AB. I think the situation kind of reflects why the value we got for Hopkins is what it is. AB is phenomenally talented. He steps onto just about any single team right now, and he is their number one receiver. And you look at everything that's going on with him, all 32 teams have judged that no matter how good he is, he's not worth those headaches. Best receiver in the league, not worth the headaches, probably because he was a receiver. If he was the best quarterback in the league, he'd be on somebody's team. If he's the best cornerback on the team, he's on somebody's team. But it's wide receiver, and wide receiver is one of those positions that is not valued. Maybe it's not valued appropriately, but it's not valued in the same way.
Yeah, no, I think it's fair. Let's see here. Type of production. I don't like to put production on players. I just think he's going to have a productive year. I think the O-line is the best O-line he's ran behind since 2016. 2018, he was able to, I think he had over 1,400 yards passing or catching the ball and rushing. I think Bill O'Brien is going to use the hell out of David Johnson, and he's going to show that he won the trade, and that's all it boils down to. AB's heading screwed on right. Doesn't matter how talented he is if you can't get on the field. That's why you bring him into camp and see what you're getting from him. And if he's on the field and performing, then great. And if not, then you cut him. Not completely changed, but I think he's progressing. Scotty next Foster. If you don't run a 4-3, we don't sign you. Sorry, O'Brien makes rules. So true. I like that. Well, he's not even reinstated, but that's due to his allegations, I believe. That is correct. No reason to sign him when we sign Brandon Cooks and Randall Cobb. There is if you trade Kenny Stills. He could be the product of the Steelers' big three: Ben, Brown, and Bell. Yeah, possibly. All right,
that's kind of the opinion of both wide receivers and running backs right now. They're all-star running backs and all-star wide receivers are products of their systems and their quarterbacks, and not their own talent. Yeah,
fair. All right, you guys know where to find us. We're live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. For those new to the show. You guys can follow us on Twitter at HoustonFBPod. You can follow us on Instagram at HoustonFBPod. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm not on there right now, but maybe I'll be back. We'll see. I am Young Ari Gold on Twitter. You can follow Texans_thoughts. That's Jordan, our main contributor on the website. And you can follow Dylan at Texans_draft. Make sure you guys also go follow Patrick at the Patrick Storm. Make sure you guys go to our website, TexansUnfiltered.com, to be able to get the best and most up-to-date coverage on the Houston Texans. There's not another site out there that is putting out the content that we are putting out and the quality of content that we are putting out. So make sure you guys go check it out. Thank you to our writing team. Thank you to Cody and Preston for everything you guys do. Thank you guys, everybody, for supporting the show. Make sure you guys hit the click the like and the subscribe button below to get up to the date when we go live on YouTube and things of that nature. And make sure you guys check out our Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Texans Unfiltered. We have all sorts of different tiers, and we will see you guys next week.
Loved this episode of